you are on your own, because your sister will be things that you have never seen in your life. Your brother will do things that you're like, excuse me, do I know you? So of course, once you have finalized with everything, you'll have to travel to the United States of America, and you're going to be living with a host, because from your country, I very much want to believe you do not have a place of your own to stay. Yeah, I know some people have different connections and could be, could have already gotten places to live, but in case you are going to be living with a host in the US, I am going to be sharing tips on how to live harmoniously with your host. Now, I want to be as should I say as honest and open can be. Your host will either make you or break you. Yeah, so the one thing that you need to be sure of is these guys are only human, first of all, and they've been through a lot. Yeah, because I know people or moments where people have left their host places and they are dreading. Yeah, so if you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Rachel Agasha. I'm an immigrant from Uganda. I moved to the States in August 2022. I won the DV lottery in 2021, and that is how I am able to talk about it. So like I mentioned already, in this video, we're going to be talking about the tips. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing tips with you, how you are going to live with your host. And as I was saying, depending on what your host does, because believe it or not, people will share from mostly their experience. And one thing that is for sure is, as a DV lottery winner, you have way so many chances of thriving in this country. So do not settle for less. I repeat, do not settle for less. Now, quote me right, when you get to this country, there's a lot that you can do with your life. Now, I'm going to be as honest can be. Yeah, when you come from your country with your degree and your masters and whatever, it might not suffice in this country. Why? Because they have different qualifications, and you have your degree has to be evaluated and whatever. So one thing about this country is it will humble you. So you need to be humble. Yeah, and do not minimize any kinds of jobs or work or whatever. Bottom line is, whatever it is that you decide to do, it is going to get you money. Yeah, one thing about this country, when they say it is the land of opportunities, it surely is the land of opportunities. Yeah, so use the advantage that you are in this country legally. You are entitled to practically everything that a citizen is entitled to. Yeah, so your host is going to tell you things in their experience. Yeah, some hosts are really open-minded, others are really closed-minded. Yeah, I say this because I have had stories. Yeah, in my situation, my host was pretty much open-minded, and she practically she taught me a lot of things, and for that I'm always grateful, right? So the first tip is for you to be open-minded. Yeah, so you have to be open to practically everything. Be willing to learn. Yeah, be willing to learn, because at the end of the day, this information, knowledge is power. Be open-minded, be able to find out what do I need to know, how do I do this, so and so is saying this, what is the other person's opinion. Yeah, you need to be open-minded and be able to learn. Yeah, because there's a lot to learn. You just can't know everything, and one person can't know it all. Yeah, so that is tip number one. Be able to learn from different sources. Tip number two is be respectful. Now, one thing about hosts is that they love to be respected, because yes, at the end of the day, they put themselves in a situation, or they are in a place where they have seen it. Yeah, they know, they have lived here, so they have the experience. So being respectful is they expect you to listen, or when they communicate, you're supposed to. Yeah, but when someone is trying to advise or tell you, and like I said, they've seen it. Yeah, being respectful means you need to know when to argue, when to, you get what I mean? Yeah, so it is important that you are humble, and you're listening, because this is how you learn. Yeah, so you need to be respectful. So in some homes, some people have different ways of living. People probably do things a certain way. So when you get into these people's communities or these people's houses, you need to know how to behave. Yeah, so that someone is not out there saying, oh, you see that person, they came into my house and then they were doing things a certain way. You do not want that. So be respectful. Respectful means know your boundaries. Know as far as you can go. You're like, okay, I'll not cross this boundary. No, I'll not do this, or I'll not do that. Yeah. Then another thing I want to share with you is just have a timeline. Yeah. Have a timeline and tell yourself, within this period of time, I will be out of this place. Because guess what? Regardless of how nice these people are, one thing about the US is that even your family member, they'll throw you out. Why? They're not really, so much goes on. People will say bills, people will say what, but again, we need to understand that these people this is actually to the hosts, honestly. We need to understand that these people have just come into this country and they're just trying to make ends meet. Yeah. So if you tell me, oh, the bills, oh, the rent, it's understandable that the bills will go high, the electric bill will go high, and all those things, the rent, but the rent doesn't change. I mean, if you're paying rent, if I am paying 1,200 at this point, when people move into my house, it doesn't change. Yeah. But the bills, I mean, you can't be saying these things to people because it is rude. But also when you agree to host people, communicate. That is another tip. Communication. Communicate with these people and tell them, hey, you know what? I understand the first, second, and third month, or maybe first, second, you won't be doing much. But when you start to earn, or when you start to do this, maybe you can contribute to this, or maybe you can do this. Like, communicate. Talk to the people. Do not throw things on them at a point when they are trying to put themselves together. Communication is both ways. As a host and as a hostee, if you have a problem with your host, you should be able to communicate. As the host, if you have a problem with your hostee, talk to them. Communication. Because again, the people who have just traveled to this country, they do not know how these things run. And you know. Yeah. So on top of being kind, communicate your feelings as the person who's being hosted. If the host is doing something that you probably don't agree with, or you feel like they can do better, I am the kind who will keep quiet and just figure something out. But I've learned that communication is important, because once you communicate, you guys are on the same page and there's no friction and everything. Yeah. Then another tip is offer assistance. Now, when you come into someone's house, yes, some of the people have their things figured out. They know that this is how they do their things, or they clean their house over the weekend. But if you as a host realize there is need for something to be done, it doesn't hurt for you to fill the gap. Step in the gap, do what it is that you have to do. And let me tell you, sometimes we be breaking our backs and doing our very best to please these people, but I promise you, when someone has issues as a human being, regardless of how much you do, they might not see it, but for you will derive a satisfaction from the fact that you did what it is that you are supposed to be doing. So do what you can. Yeah, it all goes back to being humble. Yeah, so if you can slash around the house, if you can do the dishes, if you can cook, please do. Yeah, at the end of the day, humility goes a long way. Yeah, do not take these people for granted. They do not owe you anything, and you are not entitled to anything in these people's lives. So it is true, they are just helping you. And one thing about this country, even when these people are your parent, best believe you are a burden. You are a burden, and you should keep that at the back of your mind. And everything that you do, you should be thinking about finding a place of your own, because best believe there is something about this country that just makes people bad people. Like, it happens. And honestly, I do not blame anyone, because I have been here for a while. And you know, we're just naturally human, and there are feelings that we get. I always feel like you choose what kind of person you want to be. You choose to embrace these bad feelings and water them and they grow, or you choose not to actually do that, of like, you know what, I want to be a nice person, I am going to be a nice person, I will not do this to this person, because at the end of the day, you do not want to be burning bridges. People think that our lives are going to be the same as how they have been in their lives, or I don't know if you get what I mean, but you just do not know what this person is going to become tomorrow. So as a host, be nice, be kind, be helpful. You have nothing to lose. Yeah, you do not lose anything by helping somebody else grow. People forget that when you help someone grow, all of us are growing. But again, we're different, right? We are very different. So another tip is be an active participant. So you see, if maybe your host, they have particular things that they do on particular days, let's say on the Sundays they go out, maybe have dinner out, or they do some charity work, or they go to church, they volunteer, you know, just be a part of it. Be a part of these activities. Make these people feel comfortable around you. Make these people feel like, you know what, this person is an added value to our family. By the time you leave someone's home, let their doors be still open to you, of like, oh yeah, you can always come back. There's actually things that you can come back to, because oh, when we were here, we used to do this every Sunday, so yeah, I'll be back on the Sundays to do this. Like harmonious living, right? Just be an easy person to work with, you know. Yeah, then another thing is respect personal space. So people are very some people value their space big time, and in this country, like I said, people love their space. So if someone tells you this is your bedroom, or maybe this is we don't do this here, we don't go here, we don't do that, respect that. Yeah, if someone is not comfortable you going to their bedroom or going to their place, or this or that, do that. I mean, just stay in your room or your boundaries or whatever. Just don't do things that are going to be pissing the host off. Yeah, because they'll ask you to leave, and where will you go? Where will you go? So you want to make sure you're keeping your boundaries and being respectful of whoever it is that is in this house, because you want to leave this home, again, you want to leave this place in peace. Yeah. Then another tip is seek for support. Yeah, you can't know it all. One person can't know it all. You can't have it all figured out. If you need help, ask for it, because you will be shocked at how kind people are in this country. Yeah, your host might not do it all, but the people that you meet out there, seek for help, ask for support. If you're looking for a job, talk to people, be like, hey, you know what, I'm actually looking for a job, do you know a place or someone who's looking to hire somebody? I mean, I'm very much available. Do that. That is how I was able to get the work that I do. You just talk to people, seek for help. It is not a sign of weakness. And I always tell people, ask. The worst that anyone can say is no, and when they say no, you move on. Yeah, it's no big deal. Like don't hold on to it like as though, you know. And the last biggest tip that I want to share with you is, do not be entitled. Let me tell you, you are on your own in this country. If it is not your mother and your father, you are on your own, because your sister will be things that you have never seen in your life. Your brother will do things that you're like, excuse me, do I know you? Yeah, now this is the closest of family. So imagine all these other people. Also, there's some people who are very nice. You'll be like, what? So again, do not be biased, be open-minded. Do not be entitled. Oh my God, I don't know how much I can express entitlement. No one owes you anything. You are on your own. Yeah, but one thing that I can promise you is you're going to thrive in this country. You are going to thrive by all means. So I hope this video helps you enjoy your stay in this country. Please leave a like for this video. Leave a comment if you have something to say. If you have anything to add to what I just said, be sure to leave it in the comment section as well. Share this video with anyone who wants or is interested in this information. I post the videos every Tuesday and Saturday, so turn on that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in our next video. Take care and stay safe. Bye bye.